that involved?
Well, it involves that special stain that the woman had, or the client, usually women, that they tried to remove by putting a detergent on, and the spot disappeared.
Yep.
But then it reappeared, except now it's this big.
Yep.
And then someone's coming, so they use the same detergent again and brush, and a spot disappears. But now it comes back this big. Mm. So the cleaner comes along, and he goes to clean, and that area turns white. But he decides that since he's the best cleaner in town, he's going to go over that spot and over it until all the soap is gone. But they come to the sad realization that even if they rinsed for days, because the soap is in a fibrous substrate, they can only take off detergent a layer at a time. Mm-hmm. It'll foam and come off at a layer, and your injection will cascade off the top. That's why no matter how many times they go over it, mm-hmm. they will never get the soap out.
Yep.
So the way to take care of that is to go over it several times, make sure that you've got the dirt out. Then we place tissue or absorbent material. I like these real strong paper towels that mm-hmm. come in the big box for
yep.
industrial.
Handy towels?
Handy towels is what you call them.
Yep.
Then we put a 1/4 inch of that, and then every time around a river, I gather up stones that have the parabola at the bottom.
Yep.
And we'll put that stone on top. And through this is what we call poultice. And it uses capillary action to take all the materials and the soap and everything that's right. below, and will draw it up into the towel through capillary action. Mm-hmm. Far more than you could ever rinse out with a truck mount, except that it takes at least 24 to 48 hours.
Yep.
And once you set that up, you can't peek, because if you, just to see if it's working, you'll create an air gap. Because yep. this is kind of like siphoning,
yep.
and if you get air in it, it won't work.
Yeah.
So one of the keys is tell the client they can't peek until tomorrow afternoon. And tomorrow afternoon, just pick the rock up and throw the tissue away, and you can put the rock in your garden if you like, or throw it out.
Yep.
But that usually it's not what happens. Usually it gets passed around the neighborhood, and it gets its own life as a magic stone that takes spots out of carpet. All you have to do is put water, put the tissue on, and put this stone on, and it
works.
And it works. And of course, you want your advertising on that stone.
Absolutely. And that.
Well, I'm so old. I remember back in the days of the double jute carpet, mm-hmm. and a double jute back carpet could shrink 2%. So when we used the shampoo method or the new steam clean, our biggest concern was carpet shrinking and seam splitting. That's not true today, because most carpets have a poly back, and they have an adhesive now. We can't call it latex because mm-hmm. it's less than, in many cases, 30% butadiene styrene rubber.
Right.
All right, so we have lots of filler, and it's usually ground up marble. Carbonate.
Yep.
That's what it is. And because it's 30%, it's not the mills trying to use less rubber in their backing, is that the more rubber, the more flammable mm-hmm. the carpet yep. becomes, so and it won't meet the fire standards.
Yep.
As a result, when carpet gets wet, and if the carpet is not what we call cross-bias stretched, where there's a cross-tension, mm-hmm. then there's a little expansion. And all you need is on 12 feet for the carpet to expand 1/4 inch, and you'll get an inch ripple. So when the carpet the cleaner cleans the carpet, the water goes down, and in the bundle in the back, there's certain hydraulic action. The nylon doesn't expand, but the spaces within it expand just a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so you'll get that expansion in the back end, and it causes the ripples. Now, is this the carpet cleaner's fault? No. Is this the carpet installer's fault? Yes. But
yep.
He's long gone. So what is the carpet cleaner to do? What we do is we go in, and if you can grab the tufts in an open area, we grab the tufts and we lift the carpet up, explaining that a properly stretched carpet should snap back down. And we let it go, and it'll float back down. And because it floats back down, the carpet doesn't have the proper stretch. And we explain this to our client, and right then recommend that we go ahead and re-stretch the carpet as an extra service prior to cleaning. Many cases they don't want to do that, and we clean it and we stabilize it as fast as we can. In most cases, those ripples go right away, but the client was already pre-prepared for this to occur, and here we're making sure that we're trying to prevent it in every way. But should it not remedy the problem, should there still be ripples, then that's not a complaint. That is a need for an extra service.
Yep.
I never, ever upsell a client. Okay, that means that I think that the client needs this service, and I'm going to try and sell it to them. If I didn't think they needed the service, I probably wouldn't try to sell it to them. But I find that that's not what my clients want.
Yep.
My clients have their needs, their own needs. And so instead of upselling, I go in and I want to find out what are my clients' needs. And I ask the questions that would relate to the services that I have to see if that is what they need. And the client comes to me. I don't go to the client. Many men will walk in with all these services that, by God, we're going to sell and upsell because they in their mind know they need it, but the client doesn't see the need. And so I ask the leading questions to find my client's need and listen. That's the key. Upselling never turns out quite right.
Yep.
Okay? It doesn't. But when the client says, "Can you do this for me?" that always turns out well.
Great. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with us, Ron.
Well, it's been my pleasure.
Enjoy the